So this episode is about how to run profitable ads for your music. So this means that you'll actually get paid for running ads. The first thing I want to cover is the issue with ads and how people are thinking about ads and how that is actually drawing them away from the true solution about how to run ads for your music. So the very first thing is that most people look at it and they say, okay, I can get a listener for, say, 50 cents per listener. And that is fine until you realize that you're only getting paid $0.003 per stream. That means that, let's round it up, say they listen to a song 3 times. That means the average listener will listen to 3 songs. So that means that you have a 50 cents to acquire a listener that then pays you 1 cent. So you're losing 49 cents every single time you get a listener. That seems backwards, right? That seems wrong. Probably not the best move if we're trying to actually grow our music artist project, right? However, there's a logical fallacy inside of this. That's one, is that the only listeners that you'll ever get are directly from the ads. You get a listener from Facebook or Instagram or TikTok to your Spotify profile, and that's the only listener that ever comes from that one listener. But if your music is really good, then they're probably going to share it with other people that they know. So it's not just one listener per 2 streams. You're actually going to get one listener, which then turns into hopefully 10, 12, 13 listeners, or potentially way more if it's a really good song and that snowball of referral keeps going beyond that one listener. So that's the potential there. Also, the other assumption is that this isn't going to help you grow, especially within like the Spotify algorithm itself. The benefit of running ads is that you're getting really high quality listeners, right? They have to jump through some hoops, leaving a different platform to get to Spotify to listen to your song. Therefore, now Spotify is all of a sudden going to get really good data about really good listeners on Spotify, and they're likely also active listeners to other artists on the platform as well. Therefore, Spotify is actually going to get really good algorithmic data about who is actually listening to your music. Then Spotify is going to get really wise and say, oh, this type of person loves this artist's music, so I'm going to feed that artist's music on Discover Weekly and on radio to these types of listeners. And then if they engage with your song as well, then all of a sudden the snowball keeps going and that you're going to get more and more love from the Spotify algorithm. The whole premise of this whole system, though, is that your music is actually good. So a lot of times people put out their music, it gets 0 traction, and then they pay to get it noticed by other people. And that is a flawed mentality because the music wasn't good enough to begin with to get even people organically interested. And so if you're not getting any organic interest, even if it's just a little bit of organic interest, then it's not going to perform as an ad. I like to use the analogy of if I have raw kale and I'm trying to feed it to my friends and family, and they will eat it because they love me and, they're willing to eat the raw kale just for me, strangers aren't going to. So that's the reality, is if I give it to somebody and they don't like it, if I pay to have somebody else take it, then they're also not going to like it. So the flawed mentality is that if you pay, then obviously you'll get success, and that's true to a certain extent. Yes, you'll probably get a few listeners, but if it's not very good, it's not going to spread organically beyond that, and therefore your ads are going to be unprofitable. The very last point that I want to add in here is that people measure their ads on a very, very short time horizon. What I mean by that is that I expect to make all my money back when I spend it. So if I spend, say, $50 on ads today, I expect that when I get my Spotify royalty payment, I'll get my $50 back. That is a flawed mentality because most advertisers, if you look at Coca-Cola or Toyota or Ford or any massive company that's running ads, they're running ads and they measure their time horizon on getting a return on that ad spend for the next 12 months. It's not a short-term play. They're looking at 12 months from now, did I make money on the ads that I'm running today? So that is the mentality that we need to adopt as artists, because if I run an ad today and I get a really high-quality listener, they might take a little time to, tell their friends, and then their friends might tell their friends, and then it kind of spreads organically, but I'm not going to see a lot of that growth for, say, 2 or 3 months after the first listener even listen to the song. And obviously you need more than just one really high quality listener, more than likely, to actually get this snowball rolling. And so the issue is that most people are measuring their ads on a very short time horizon. They don't recognize the long-term benefits of running ads, and also they don't run enough ads to then get that snowball rolling. You need to get the momentum rolling, and then it's going to carry itself. But most people don't put in enough effort or enough money initially to get that snowball rolling. Again, this all comes back to is if your song isn't good, you're never going to be profitable with this method, and you're never actually going to see the results from it. If you want to guarantee that your song is going to be good enough to run ads profitably for your music, then check out the free guide down below. I created a free guide on how I got 100,000 organic streams on my very first release with a new artist project, and you can learn all about exactly how I did that down below, so make sure you're checking that out. Okay, with that said, thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.